Erik and Wade, throwing bets like haymakers. UFC fight night, no faking these heartbreakers. Punch stats, bankrols, and scorecards never fold. 8 off 21 sports talking bold like this catch and gold. Erik saying underdogs got swagger. Wade counter champs got a clan and jaw won't stagger. Money on the line, bets as sharp as a dagger. Hot cops, bling, flashing lights, heavyweight bagger. 8 off 21, clash of minds. No surprise, Erik Wade in the ring, shouting nod, shooting high. Fight night dreams, cold cash gleam in their eyes. Betting broad, UFC calls on the podcast sky.
We have reached the part of the podcast me talking some UFC Vegas 113. Who better to come on than the man, the myth, the legend, Wade, aka Proven Winners. Wade, how you doing today, my man?
Let's go, baby. I'm doing pretty good. Happy Friday. Glad to be back, man.
Yeah, always a joy having you on. Thank you for those watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. Appreciate all you guys. Disappointing performance by me last week. I will take everything. Looking at it, Wade was the man. 2-1 plus 1.35 units. Hit that Hooker and BSD would end in round 2 or 3. Hit Rufy minus 118, lost Lopez plus 133. I swept the board, but swept the board in a negative way. I put up an offer. Lopez, Brundage, and Raphael did not get it done for me. 2 and 4 on the show, minus 1.65 units, and our 50-50 lineup did not cash. So we're at even on the year on 50-50 lineup cashed for the first UFC numbered event, UFC 2 324, and overall Wade is 3-3 plus 0.55 U. Disappointing 1-4 minus 1.95 U for me. We're 4-7 on the year, minus 1.4 units. Dude, I put a little work in the graphic department, dude. Put a little work in. What do you think about that graphic before you, dude? I thought that's pretty good.
It even matched me perfectly today, and we didn't even ask me what I was going to be wearing.
Dude, I think that's fucking perfect, isn't it?
It's hilarious.
Let's go ahead. Let's dive right into it. Those listening or watching for the first time, how we do it, we each have 3 bets. We're going to build a DFS lineup, 50-50 lineup. Let's jump right into it. Wade, first bet. You're going to the main event, my friend.
I am, and I'm going to go right to Mario Batista. Money line at minus 139 over Vinicius, Luck Dog, Oliveira. And look, I'll start with this. Batista is coming off his first loss in almost 5 years. And honestly, I think his stock might almost be the highest it's ever been. Yeah, he did lose to Umar Nurmagomedov, but that's a guy who is basically a future champion if he can put all the things together there. And I think Batista, he looked really good there. He had moments in that fight. He nearly caught Umar in a toe hold submission. He even dropped him in a kick in round 2. And I just think that's not nothing. You've got to look at that. His recent win streak, along with fighting a really good fight against one of the top fighters in the division. I think that he deserves to be in this spotlight here for this main event. Now Oliveira is legit. He's a violent finisher. He came into the UFC and he immediately made noise with that insane flying knee knockout over Bernardo Sopaj, if anybody remembers that. And it was one of the nastiest knockouts that we've really seen. The one that we saw in 2024 as well. And he's really a kill or be killed kind of guy. I think that's gonna bite him here in this fight. The real issue here is, he's 4-0 in the UFC, but he hasn't really clearly proven that he belongs with the most complete guys in the division. And really, Batista is complete. He's much cleaner striker. He's more composed. He mixes in grappling better. And he's really fought the elite of the elite of the 135 division. Now, maybe his last 3 or 4 fights may not have been the top of the echelon. Umar was, but prior to that, he didn't have the toughest competition. But I think outside of that, his only losses really, you look on his board, are Corey Sandhagen and Umar Nurmagomedov, and that's really 2 of the guys at the top of the mountain. So I think stylistically, this fight is probably going to go one of 2 ways. Either Oliveira just lands something absolutely murderous and just gets him out of there, or Batista mixes in his martial arts, stays disciplined. He might lose round 1 or round 2 as Oliveira comes out with a lot of energy, but I think Batista can clearly win round 2, round 3, easily round 3, round 4, round 5. If he can squeeze out a round 2, maybe he can win the scorecards 4-1. 3-2, or maybe he finds a finish. Either way, I'm just going to take the money line at a juiced price. I thought about trying to mix in some type of double chance to get a little bit better odds, try to find a finish in there for Batista. But Oliveira is a dog enough that I think he might be able to get this thing to the scorecards. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a finish in this fight.
I like it. I think this screams round 4, round 5 submission for Batista.
Yeah. Sure.
Taking a shot. I'm going against your girl Wang here.
Oh my God.
Give me Mora plus 307. This fight comes down to one question. Can she wrestle consistently, manage her cardio over 3 rounds? Cardio has been an issue for her in the past. She did move away from 115, which I think is going to help stylistically. There is a spot where her strengths line up perfectly with what Wang's biggest weakness is. Clearest path to victory is turning this into a grinding wrestling match. Wang wants to keep this standing, press forward, land some calf kicks while working her volume striking. If this stays clean on the feet, look, she's got no chance. This is where Wang wants to be. No argument here. But Wang's takedown defense is a major question mark. She hasn't faced a grappler this caliber yet. If Mara commits the game plan, manages her cardio, closing distance, wrestles, she can suffocate Wang over 15 minutes. She is relentless with her takedown attempts. Even if the first shot doesn't land, she's been very good at chaining entries, forcing clinches, and creating mat returns. Once on top, this is where the fight really flips. Her jiu-jitsu, top pressure, ground and pound turn Wang's defensive grappling into a liability. She does a great job of riding hips, pitting opponents against the fence, advancing position into back takes, some arm triangle setups. This kind of control is going to limit scrambles and keep the fight exactly where she wants it. The longer the fight stays on the mat, the more Wang's speed, striking volume get neutralized. Judges still reward sustained control, especially when it's paired with damage. Mora has shown she can rack up control time while chipping away from half guard and guard. If she avoids gassing early and cleans up her entries, this projects as a classic grinder's win. Takedowns, clinches, long stretches of control, some rear naked submission attempts at plus 307. This is just way overpriced. I think Wang is a little overvalued. I'm still not sold on her at all. I'm fading her. Give me the plus 307, my friend.
If she can get those takedowns, baby.
Dude, there's a path. I look for paths, and I got a path.
I love the path. Can't believe you're going against the Wang, man.
I'm going against the Wang. I fit Wang and riding hips into the same breakdown. But let's go ahead.
Now, what are you going to say if Wang comes back if Wang knocks her out in round 1 or 2? What are we going to say for the next video? I'm just going
to send you a text message that says fuck, and then I'll move on to the next one.
Fine.
Next bet, my friend.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a parlay here, plus 103. Best odds you can get over at Novig. Jailton Almeida money line with Kyoji Horiguchi money line. We'll start with Jailton Almeida first. Obviously, he's one of the weirdest heavyweights in the UFC. His style is so grappling heavy that we've seen people in recent YouTube videos kind of clowning him, saying he's not really he doesn't really know how to. One, he doesn't know how to take the fight to people. When people do take the fight to him, he doesn't really like it. So he's still 8-2 in the UFC. He's finished almost everyone. People like to say that because the Volkov fight was weird. He landed 7 of 9 takedowns, and he still lost that fight. Really because he didn't do enough damage, and he didn't advance position. But really, here's the key to I think this fight alone is that really nobody can stop them from taking him down. And if he really puts all things together, I do think he can contend for the title at heavyweight here. Even against the highest level heavyweights like Volkov and Blades, he's still hitting takedowns at an absurd rate against these guys. Now he's fighting an inexperienced Rizvion Kuniev, who does deserve respect. He defends takedowns well against Curtis Blades. A lot of people thought that he actually won that fight. He does have power. He's durable. He's never been finished. But just to be honest here, I just think I'll take an Almeida short notice on brutal assignment here. Almeida is one of the most avoided guys at heavyweight for a reason, and I think it's going to show here. I think he's just going to be able to control this fight wherever it goes. I wouldn't be surprised if Almeida submits him in round 2 or round 3. I don't know if he's going to be able to get him in round 1. I think Kuniev can fight that off for five minutes here, but I think Almeida can can get this guy out of there with at least round 2 or round 3 finish. And then going over to Horiguchi, it's probably one of my favorite bets on the card. He's not really just a good fighter. He's one of the most decorated flyweights ever, and now he's back into the UFC. Former champion in multiple promotions, elite wrestling, elite control, elite counter striking, and he's got submissions as well. What really sold me was his last fight last November against Tagir Ulanbekov. He didn't really just win. He destroyed him. He hurt him on the feet, and then he finished him with a club and sub technical submission. And Tagir is younger, bigger, and he's from that Dagestani pipeline. And I think that's a pretty serious statement. Albazi, I'm not saying he's bad. He's ranked number 6. Feels like more about circumstance and then dominance here. His best win was against Kaikar of France. Even that fight was kind of widely viewed as a robbery. That Kaikar of France probably should have won that fight. So, in this matchup, I just don't see a clean advantage for Albazi anywhere. He looked really slow in his last fight against Brandon Moreno, and I just think Horiguchi, he's just sharper, he's more experienced, he's more technical, he's just more proven at an elite level for over a decade, and I just think he's going to roll right over Albazi here. It may go to a decision, but I just think he's going to show that he's just quicker, and there's just levels to this, and I absolutely love getting plus money for both of these guys.
I like it. I like both those guys a lot. Both those guys a lot. I'm staying in the women's fights, my friend.
Ooh.
Yeah. Plus 145. This is a spot where the matchup, the numbers, don't make sense. After a loss to your girl Wang, went back through the road to UFC tournament, did exactly what she needed to do. She got a win, back on her record, looked composed, rebuilt confidence. Consistency has always been a question with her, but since joining Fighting Nerds camp, her structure, game plan have been improved. That camp, the one thing that the Fighting Nerds do well is they give the fighters a clear path to victory, and this is what I expect here. Stylistically, Brazil, more of a technical striker in this matchup. She does a great job mixing in kicks, all 3 levels, especially effective with consistent low leg kicks. If she can get Catalina Souza reacting, dropping her hands, the head kick will be there. Timing is going to be critical because Souza's aggressiveness wants to close distance quickly, but that actually plays into Brazil's strengths if she stays disciplined, stippling entries, countering instead of brawling. One area Brazil needs to clean up is activity. She landed only 31 total strikes in her last loss. That won't be enough here. Souza forces exchanges, doesn't give opponents much time to settle. Brazil has to stay busy to make her shots count. The good news is, her striking looked better and more fluid in the road to UFC performance, so I'm expecting a higher output here. This is likely a stand-up heavy fight between 2 kickboxers, but Brazil has a key edge that Souza doesn't. She actually can wrestle. Souza's been taken down 9 times across her last 2 fights. Her grappling defense is a concern. If Brazil chooses to mix in some takedown or some clinch work, she can exploit the gap and bank control time. Over 3 rounds, I expect Souza to land more eye-catching power shots, but Brazil should be cleaner, more active fighter on the outside, taller, longer, more methodical, which allows her to dictate range, work her kicking game, and pick her spots. If she can cut off Souza's movement and counter with her right hand, there's a clear path on the scorecards. Look, to me, this fight's going to go the distance. In that kind of fight, I'm going to trust Brazil to do the work. I'm going to trust that the Fighting Nerds are going to put together a game plan and construct it well for her. So I'll take Brazil here at plus 145.
Yeah, I don't hate the plus money on a fight that's probably going to go the decision. So
she is a great Instagram follow.
I do not follow her on Instagram. I may have to check her
out. Next one, my friend.
All right, we're going to go here with my third and final pick. A little bit safer parlay, I guess you can say, based on the odds. Minus 128 over on Bet365 is where I was able to get the best odds for this. It is the Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker over 1.5 rounds. Paired that with Michael O for the money line here. And we'll start with leg 1, Jacoby Walker fight to go over 1.5 rounds. This fight is really a classic veteran technician versus a young athletic prospect. Another reason why I love this fight is that they, in a recent interview, Jacoby said that they used to be training partners when Walker was first coming up. Jacoby and Julius worked together, And I think that's going to usually when we see fights where fighters know each other a little bit, I think that's going to at least push this thing to later rounds. If we're going to see a finish, I think it's going to happen later in round 2 or round 3. Jacoby is 37, but he is still one of the best pure kickboxers in the division. Sharp jab, nasty low kicks, really disciplined range control. He's quietly steadied the ship here with back-to-back knockout wins. Walker is a younger guy, more athletic, bigger frame. He is aggressive, but he's still raw. Footwork, defense, shot selection. It's just not clean at all, and we saw that in his last fight. Walker's path to winning here is basically landing something big early or forcing Jacoby on his back and out wrestling him for the entirety of the fight, as I don't see him finishing Jacoby on the mat. Jacoby's path really here is just controlling range and breaking him down over the course of 3 rounds and maybe finding that knockout shot. I think that dynamic usually leads to a fight selling in and lasting here a little bit. Jacoby isn't going to sprint into this firefight immediately. I know he's not going to. And I know he's going to try to keep Walker off from wrestling him. And I think Walker may want to show that he can stand a strike with somebody like Jacoby as well. So I have a feeling these guys are going to feel each other out. And if we do see a knockout or a submission, it'll happen later after 1.5 rounds. So I think that's a pretty safe play. And then going with probably everybody's favorite play on the entire board, so probably pretty square here, but I like it. I'm just going to go with it. Michael O, he's one of the faster-handed southpaws at middleweight. Explosive left hand. He's got sharp combos. He's a guy who really hunts finishes. He's really not a point fighter. He's really turned it on the last handful of fights, and he's really impressed me a lot. Barriot is he's tough. He's gritty. Style is pressure and volume. He wants to turn it into a war, get you in the clinch, push you up against the cage, hit you with elbows, get you in the grind. But I think the problem is really just his durability is slipping. He's been knocked out twice in his last 4 fights, and I think that's just a scary thing when you're kind of a walk forward type of guy, and you're fighting a guy who also likes to walk forward, throw hands fast, early, hard. I just think this is a fight that's not going to last much more into the second round. I think the first round is the most dangerous window here, where the speed and power really pop. So I think his best advantage of getting him out of there is in the first round. But if it doesn't, I think he can wear on him over time with landing clean counters, working the body over time, and looking for finishing shots. I just don't think Marc-Andre Barriot has much left to give in the tank, and he's going up against a pretty dangerous fighter here that's looking to be on the come up here. So take this parlay over on Bet365 as you can get the best odds. But I think over on DraftKings, FanDuel, it's still in the -130s, -140 ranges if you're okay with those odds.
I like it. And my next one, I have a bet actually on one you're talking about. I am taking Walker.
You would, dog.
156. This is a bet on youth, athletic upside, and very, very, very real grappling path. 11 years younger than Dustin.
Yes.
The athletic gap here matters. Walker's physical tools are legit, explosive, powerful, capable of pushing a pace that Jacoby has struggled with in times. Younger, more dynamic fighter. Walker is also a type of fighter who should improve significantly from fight to fight, and I'm just betting on his consistent development here. To me, there's also this huge situational angle here. Jacoby was in Australia last week. He stopped training, stopped cutting weight to corner Brundage. Now he's back in camp preparing for a fight. So that's basically what? You're in the plane for 30 hours? You know what I mean? That's a day and change where you're not doing anything. Could Jacoby still knock out Walker? Absolutely. His stand-up is dangerous and proven, but the travel disruption and the question of the full gas king, because you're not getting a full camp for a 37-year-old, that's going to matter when facing someone who's going to push a relentless pace. I can't even talk. The clear edge for Walker is grappling. In his last fight, Walker put together a complete 3-round performance, outlanding 96-30, landing 6 takedowns. Walker's pressure wrestling ability to vary his offense, his cardio has been consistently been a weapon, and he's going to be looking to push the face here. On the feet, when you look at the measurements, lands 4.336 strikes per minute compared to Jacoby's 5.37, but Walker does it with 55% accuracy. He doesn't rush, waits for opponents to overextend, does his best work, and when he backs fighters into the fence along the cage, he's dangerous with both strikes and his ability to get level changes. Walker will have the slight reach advantage and can exploit Jacoby's tendency to post with his lead hand to manage range. The front can tear up. The middle should be there, but defensively still needs to be sharp. This is a tense matchup because both guys can shut the lights off with one strike. For Walker, the path is clear. He cannot stay at long range, have a kickboxing match. He needs to get this in the clinch, bring in grappling into the equation. Plus 176, I'm betting on a younger fighter, grappling upside, superior cardio, ability to push pace for 15 minutes. I see Walker pulling away late and grinding out a late decision. Give me Mr. Walker at plus 150.
I'll say good thing I changed my bet because I was gonna, even the one that I gave out to my VIP members, I was gonna put Jacoby into that parlay with Michael O, and I ended up changing it to the over. So I like that we didn't go against each other in this video. It's nice.
So let's go ahead. Let's bring up DraftKings. Now look, what I did here is Bassarat, he's going against Vasquez. Vasquez is coming in on extremely short notice. When we're doing these 50-50 lineups, he is going to be the chalk. We're just going to throw him in there. We're not even going to discuss it because that fight was scrapped and Vasquez is literally stepping up on 2 days' notice. So moving on from that, let's go ahead. Let's have a little discussion here where you're thinking. I'm assuming we're both very high on Michael O, correct?
Sure.
Yeah. You got to be thinking here, what fighters do you see winning? I'm intrigued by Almeida at 87.
Everybody at the top. I think all the favorites are going to be pretty good this week.
I think it's a dog card, my friend.
I really don't. I don't. You might be you might be right, but
do you like Almeida?
What dogs do you think are going to win? Let's go down to the bottom then if you think dogs are going to win.
I think Mora,
Stop it.
Matsumoto.
Stop it.
I'm intrigued by Price.
I am intrigued by Price too.
Walker.
Matsumoto.
Brazil. Yeah. What do you think about your boy here?
Yeah, that's fine. I think it's cheap enough. I like that. I like the 85 price.
All right, sweet. So we're both intrigued.
I wouldn't do it though. No. I'm intrigued. That doesn't mean I want to play it. No. I know Veretanikov sucks, but he's gonna get a win eventually. Right. There's no way we're not gonna win that fight. I actually tried. I was not usually a DFS player before. Once we started doing these, I started doing my own cards. This is the first week I have not officially put my own card in like the last 10 weeks because I could not get to. I was kind of stuck playing Moreno as my last option, and I hated it, so I didn't know. I couldn't get to a good card this week, so I don't.
I love Walker, so we put Walker in.
I don't think he's gonna win, dude. He's not experienced enough yet. You realize that Jacoby has 5 years of UFC experience on him,
dude. He
knows him. He knows him. He knows what he's gonna do. I'm telling you. I've heard the travel thing online. That's one okay argument, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you
experience.
I'm gonna send you a message after Walker wins. Just
the experience is wild.
Walker
didn't even look that good in his last fight. I'm not sure why you're so confident.
Athletic upside, my friend.
That doesn't win you fights, dude.
What
it really doesn't? I don't know. His price is okay. I don't mind the 7,500, but
we need a $7,000 fighter.
If he loses a decision, he might still score a lot. I don't hate it.
All right, so we go here.
He just can't get knocked out. I don't think Jacoby's gonna knock him out. I really don't.
He won't.
I think it's going to be a close decision. So,
which one of these $8,000 people do you like?
I think we got to play Batista. I think he's going to score for us.
That means we got 78 left.
I think we're kind of on the opposite sides of girls this week, so it doesn't really help anything unless I like Sagula. I like Sagula on that one.
Jeez. So I like.
If I'd gun in my head, I think I was going to do Souza over Brazil, but I don't think I would have bet that. I can see Brazil for sure. hell no on her. Kong and Wang is gonna whop out her Wang in round 2, and Mora is gonna wish she didn't take this
Jesus,
fight.
your hate for Mora is just fucking
No, I like Mora. She's an experience too, and Wong can knock people out. I don't know.
So I
That'll be a fun fight to watch for
I
sure.
guess the talking point is Brazil
Well,
price.
hold on. Go back up to the top where everything's expensive. Are we sure we're happy with our expensive people?
I mean, who would you want to fill out?
Yeah. Horiguchi's too much. You don't like one Kong. And you don't like Basharat either.
I don't trust Double D. I'll say
it. I wouldn't. I kind of want Morono to be my last play on a really expensive when I use all the other expensive people, because I think he's got upside to shock and knock this kid out or something randomly. I don't think so, but I don't know, man. This is tough. I don't think we want to do Cachoeira. Do we want to do Cachoeira? I feel like you want to do Brazil.
I want to do Brazil, Cachoeira, Price, or Matsumoto.
No,
that's where my head is. Where's your head?
With this list?
With these people on the board right here.
Yeah, but it's like Brazil or nothing for me.
Let's go Brazil. Let's go Double B.
I don't.
Boom. That's it. We're in. Are
we happy?
Bruserac, Michael O.
We've been cashing a lot of these. So I want to make sure we're happy.
Walker, Batista, Brazil. I didn't cash last week, dude. Last week.
No, I know. Last week was the one, but we were on a nice little run before that. So I want to make sure this is.
And we're starting out new. I'm doing a better job tracking. Got a little comments that people want to see our records. So
I need to see what that one is, because I need to lock that into my end too.
Nah, here you go. I'll pull it back.
Send me that screen. Take a screenshot. I'll take a screenshot of it. Put that back up. So. All right, we're in.
Wade, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of the schedule, coming on, talking a little.
Yeah.
UFC Vegas 113. We'll be back next week, but before I let you go, the $1 million question. What is your best bet for the Super Bowl?
Oh God. Let's just do Sam Darnold over 5.5 rushing yards.
Nice. Sammy D over 5.5 rushing yards.
Like -102 the other day. So
best of luck in your bets, man. We'll be back next week. Another UFC card next week, I believe, with no card next week. So we'll be back.
I don't think there's a card next week.
2 weeks. Nice to see that Dana's taking it off for Valentine's
Strickland Day. And Hernandez on February 21st in Houston, Texas.
We'll be back for that. Appreciate you, my friend. We'll talk soon, and best of luck in your bets, buddy.
See you guys.